All right, 2 hours, 2 minutes, 47 seconds, 91 milliseconds. We check our steps on Saturday. I am gonna go out and measure the amount to see how accurate Apple is. I'm gonna do that in just a minute. I gotta be getting on the road. But anyway, I don't know the temperature either, but 2 hours, 2 minutes, 47 seconds, 91 milliseconds. I'm in the middle of Fort Worth, Texas. It's gonna get hot this summer. It'll get hotter than your place. Texas is one of the hottest states. All right, so when you're doing this kind of stuff, when you're out there jogging in the heat, you wanna make sure you get really not to get dehydrated, to get hydrated. To get hydrated as water. All right. We're dealing with 178,401 miles on the speedometer. 92 degrees Fahrenheit, what's reading right now. I'll double check that temperature. That's only the temperature in the car. And we're dealing with June 1, 2023. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show with your host, moi, Cole Spivey. I did get the show down to 44 minutes. I've been trying to do that for a few years. Well, I guess maybe at least a year from right now, because the show increased to about 9 posts, and my goal was to get it to about a 30-minute show. So we're at 44 minutes. And then we have a Skinny Pete edition, which is still part of the show, but it's kind of like a bonus part where you get to read my script, or I'll read the script to you, of Skinny Pete and Friends, a sequel to Better Call Saul. We're going to Central Market, get a salad, then we'll head off to Hilton Inn. It's like a Hilton Garden. All right, there's a man named Ife Jones, and he was born in 1921. He was in the Navy. He earned one of the highest ratings in architects and a reward called the American Institute of Architects, AIA. He also was the apprentice to Frank Lloyd Wright. He created the Marty Lynn Wedding Chapel, which is what that is. And Linda and I had played guitar, or actually, we did play guitar that night, but we played piano inside that church right there, that wedding chapel. And this show's brought to you today by Legend Hospice Incorporated. When you're trying to bring down the boomer generation, remember, call 844-534-3630. We'll make sure they have no food and water when they die. All right? All right, so spinning the muscle builders. Right next to me as I'm trying to. I was trying to get some kind of like cream stuff, but they have everything packaged. All right. Oh, it's non-alcoholic.
Yeah, no.
So it's like
no
soda,
no caffeine,
and it's wild.
Soda. No caffeine.
Okay. All the way from Louisiana. All the way from New Mexico. All right, Hilton Garden Inn. This is where I take my lunch pretty much every day. And it's really nice. So, can I give you an idea of the size of the room? It holds up to 156 people or something of that nature. I'm going to use this as a tripod, right? So here's the 4 crackers right here. Right, so this is what we're dealing with right here. And I'm definitely going to say it's at least 1030 on calories, as in 1,030. I don't even know what this stuff is. I got it off the thing. It didn't have a little label that I could read with the glasses. And by the way, that's a real plant right there. So it's actually a real plant. I'm at Hilton Garden Inn, and there's a bar. I noticed they're playing Star Wars right over here. This is one with Adam Driver, TNT. Adam Driver was a former Marine. But it looks like kind of Force Awakens nature kind of thing. So I tried outside area, and I've decided not to use all my shows anymore. So what I'm doing each night is I'm gonna edit to about 30 minutes and then just trash the rest. It was a very stressful time. It was stressful. It was very stressful to do 9 shows or do 10 shows a night of 30 minutes, sometimes 40-minute shows. It was like 280 minutes or even more, sometimes 300 minutes. Usually it was like 180 minutes, or at least 100 minutes, sometimes more, because all those shows were of that daily vlog. The reason I couldn't give you 40-minute or 60-minute shows each time is because I switched from Frontier, Spectrum, or it's actually pronounced Spectrum, and Spectrum basically only was allowing like 30-minute uploads or 40-minute uploads, and I have to go to Apple or some other place that had great internet to upload the rest of the show. So you'll notice those shows where it says 9 vlogs, that's all one day. So we're still reading Stephen King's Dark Tower 6, Song of Susanna. I was trying to see if we could get like a copyright on it. Interesting, what Stephen King does is he brings in his own book, Salem's Lot, because they're actually reading the book. In his lap was a book called Salem's Lot. All right, we got one at Pappasito's, some fajitas, and some kind of guac bowl thing. All right, so Pappasito's will be about 0.6 miles, 4 minutes, and we'll be there at 5:34 p.m. Pappasito's is like seafood. Pappasito's is more like party room food. That's Pappasito's. So the next scene, right after Skinny Pete and friends had jumped out of the electric Porsche and are walking to the meeting, and we don't know what the meeting is. It's probably like an important Wall Street meeting that all happens in New York City in Midtown. We're gonna move on to the next scene, which is gonna be the guitar man meeting up at probably like a pancake house and being one of the speakers for the new Liberty Party. We start to realize how vigilant the guitar man is. All right, there's Pappasito's. We're gonna take the Pappasito's 11 miles, 20 minutes. We'll be there at 6:13 in the PM. 6:14. So in Skinny Pete and Friends, a sequel to Better Call Saul, the guitar man goes to the pancake house in New York City. And he explains that we understand that women are persecuted, but there are many men that are in prison because of lies from women. And that they understand and they believe that women are witches. Not all, but there are witches out there. And they do lie and persecute men. And that also men have the right to procreate. And they're also pro-life. So they hate abortion. And that's what he's going to talk about as a representative of the New Liberty Party, the guitar man, in the story that I'm writing. Now, the New Liberty Party is not 100% against the Catholic Church because of the fact the Catholic Church believes that abortion is completely wrong. But they're mostly Protestant. They'll work with the Catholic but they don't confess their sins to anyone but God. Now, Harvey Weinstein will be mentioned in the story because Harvey Weinstein was in prison, and some say that it was gossiping lies. Trump is probably mentioned because Trump was almost imprisoned because of gossiping lies. So the New Liberty Party are aware that women gossip and lie. They're aware that abortion is wrong. They are aware that there are witches out there. Okay, they're aware of these things, and they're militant. They are a militia. Pretty cool location. So they're at 5017. It looks like a pretty cool location. That one's cool too. We're going to get into the character of the guitar man. We don't know his name throughout the whole series. He's kind of a David Bowie fan, and he is got some eccentric kind of qualities. This kind of message. And one of the qualities about the guitar man is he's highly against processed foods. So he wouldn't eat something like you know, if you got noodles on the grocery store that's in a box, you know, or something that's processed. So he would eat like organic food from the garden. And that's pretty much it. All right, so we're gonna try out some Yogurtland, see if they have any new yogurt. Try out the cheesecake and see what the cheesecake tastes like. All right, so it's toasted coconut. It's actually pretty good. These. Sugars are at 1 gram. That's really good. Protein's 12 gram. So low sugar. Calories 160. It's actually pretty good. Looks like we have a musician. I usually try to put these guys in the show. This is right next to PNC Bank, and then you're looking at Whole Foods parking lot. They're usually set up over here, but they may have moved them back here. There he is. Pretty good. I'm looking for a lead guitar player too, for the TheColeandLindaFilmmakerBand. He's mostly lead. That's mostly lead right there. Lead guitar is gonna be really fancy, and it's gonna rely on riffs that are real complex as opposed to simple rhythm. We have a copyright issue. I said no copyright, and he kept playing. So part of the New Liberty Party is to get rid of copyright. All the way from California. One reason that copyright is wrong is because it's kind of like stealing. It's a version of stealing. Of course, they're going to want to listen to a song that was written by another artist far, far away. Thing, in order for the New Liberty Party to really launch, is we'll have to be in control of the music. So if I were to give a command and say, don't play that, you would have to listen. We got Mr. Beast Burger So basically it's coming to your doorstep, and you can get it, well, on the border will make it for you. Already from Washington, and a lot of people in Washington 2030 are gonna be camping just like this, like the whole state. All right, we'll be pulling out for 1.3 miles, 4 minutes, and we'll be there at 7:37 with your Mr. Beast burger coming out of On the Border. Looks like the gate is wide open. All right, we're gonna head to McDonald's. All right, we're gonna be heading to McDonald's. It hurts my heart that I have to honk at the man that was attempting to play music, but I don't consider Trent Reznor played in a Whole Foods parking lot and people drinking wine openly, which is illegal. I don't really consider that music. What I consider that is Onan's property. If you read Genesis. These are extremely, I'm gonna get one. What's wrong with knowing you better? All right, we're still heading to McDonald's. Gonna pick up your healthy cheeseburger and drop it right at your door. Food for Frank. All right, we are at McDonald's. All right, 1.6 miles, 3 minutes. Arrival time is 8:15 p.m. as in Post Meridian. Well, we're waiting on our Taco Bell. It's like we have a commercial band playing on that way, so I'm not going to record any commercial bands at all. Only bands that don't have copyright. I found out that if you go to their app, the Taco Bell app, and let's say you've unlocked the fire reward, or let's say you've unlocked a certain amount of points, and you're at certain awards where you can get free food. You can go through the whole process of getting the free food, but it wants to bill some type of card $0. I may try it sometime to see why would they charge $0. There's a Taco Bell sign right there. But I'm not gonna mess with any copyright music. Get a few hot sauces. Right. All right. So we're headed to Ole Enchilada, and we're picking up a holy moly plate. It'll be 0.9 miles, 4 minutes. We'll arrive at 8:57 in the PM. That's the towers. Looks over University Park and also the zoo. All right, this is Enchilada Ole. All right, Ole Enchilada. It's gonna be a 6-mile trip. It'll take 13 minutes. We'll be there at 9:18 p.m. on the arrival. All right, remember, June 23rd, John Cusack is coming to the Will Rogers Stadium in Fort Worth. All right, there's the Ridgely. That's where I saw Bad Lieutenant, My Own Private Idaho, Naked Lunch, and My Brother's Keeper, which is a documentary. So tonight's going to be the first time in like a year or so that I'm going to look through footage and make discretion. All right, Kantaro Ramen. We're going to be there at 6.1 miles, about 13-minute drive. We'll be at 9:33 p.m. on the arrival. Looks like we've had activity there, or we have activity coming up, and we've had it for like 2 nights in a row. Fetty. Something like that. I don't even know what that is. Fetty is probably a service that looks like it might be a transportation service, but I've never heard of them before till now. Kind of see the front part of it right there. It's known as Fetty. Looks pretty cool. All right, so this is a sushi place on West 7th, which I think is a great place to have theater. They need to have a theater on West 7th. It would be great to have a West 7th theater. That's the name of the theater, the live theater that I wanted to do. I wanted to call it the West 7th Theater. And I know John Cusack is coming to town June 23rd, and I know that John Cusack ran his own theater. He ran his own live theater, his own stage. So if I could just take him out, you know, for some wine or crackers or something, and talk to him about Max, which is a movie he did, which I think is great. And also to talk to him about live theater and talk
approaching a railroad crossing.
Kantoro Ramen. So they do have a checkout kiosk. So I ordered the gyoza, I ordered the karashimitsu, and the mapo tafodon. So I am on a diet, so I really shouldn't do this, but I don't know. It comes to $5.10 on the calories, but it's pretty good. It's a $2 burrito. It's known as a Chipotle Ranch grilled chicken. And here's the mild sauce. It's from Taco Bell. Pretty good. I got some ranch because I have some beans at home. I say ranch. I said ranch. It's so weird. The show's so weird. Mild sauce. You say it, you have the option to edit it out, but I usually don't. It's mild sauce. But it has, I think, ranch on it. Every once in a while, you gotta have a little bit of Taco Bell. And we're going to get a scale tonight. So tomorrow we're going to do our weigh-in, which I really shouldn't do this when we're doing a weigh-in, but I know it's going to take time to lose the weight. So it's not going to be overnight thing, you know. That would be very weird. but it's going to take some time. And I get one of these a month, so certain times. And then tonight we'll go get the scale and we'll weigh after the hike tomorrow, and I'll let you know my weight tomorrow. God fell over me, speaking young European poetry. All right, so ramen is right behind us. We're going 9.8 miles. We'll be there in 23 minutes. The arrival time will be 10:24 in the PM. You know, if you ever come across Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, it's not Simi's dream, okay? It's Siamese, like the Messiah. Siamese dream. I put on Atom, the Smashing Pumpkins, ATUM. I mainly start thinking of The Killing Line, which is my dystopian story about if you're not perfect, then you're killed. So
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Let me wait for everything to be there. Okay, so in Killing Line, what it is, and I wanted to use Wycliffe as one of the main guys, but now he went all political. But what it is it's set in kind of a world where a lot of people are underground in factories, and they're basically, if you're perfect and you have no flaws, and you're perfectly whole and you're perfect, and you're you know that you don't have any like weird birth defects or whatever, then you're allowed to work for the country. But it's mostly underground because it's after, I think it's post-apocalyptic, but it's set, I think, even on Mars. So it's a post-apocalyptic on Mars. And there's already been, like, you know, nuclear explosions and all this stuff. So Mars is all polluted, but they're underground. So it's set kind of like in factories underground. Very white, very much like a factory. I came up with some of the ideas when I worked for Alcon. I worked for a company down this way. We may be passing it, called Alcon. It's a contact lens solution place where I had cut the tops off these boxes and then dumped these contact lens solutions and then repacked them. It's called repack. Anyway, so I came up with this idea that if you're perfect, then you're allowed to work. And you work in these factories and you do just like these menial jobs. It's very dystopian. So there's a lot of fear in the air. But if they find an imperfection with you, because like they don't always find it in birth. So you grow up and you may have an imperfection. It could be like a weird thing on, you know, a bone that's real weird or something, or it can be something wrong with your mind, or something like you could have an addiction to something or whatever it may be. You're immediately taken off the factory line and put into what's known as the killing line. So you were basically, what happens is they find out that you weren't perfect, so your work wasn't perfect. You weren't perfect and your work wasn't perfect, so they took you off the line and you go to this other factory, which is basically to extinguish you. It's to kill you. And you're put on this line, and it's almost like cattle, and they're putting, like they're walking in a line, and they just put this little thing to your head, this pneumatic thing. And I wrote this before No Country for Old Men. Anyway, they put the pneumatic thing to your head, and then you know, just like cattle, and then you're dead. And they take your body parts and they cut it up and analyze your body parts and everything. Well, Wycliffe, I wanted to get Wycliffe to play one of the leads, and they find something wrong with him, you know, on the factory line, and they take him off to kill him. And he finally figures out what's going on because he sees these other people get killed while he's in the other factory that kills while you're on the killing line. So he decides to basically escape. And he gets these other people together while he's on the line, because it takes a long time. You gotta wait on the line for days before you get killed. And he finally decides to escape. It's kind of an homage to what happened to the Jews in the Holocaust. It's kind of an homage to that a little bit. And they go on a run, like Logan's Run kind of thing, like THX, you know. And they just, you know, they start running and rebelling and killing all the guards. Yeah, there it is. And it takes a long time for the message to go away. I can press the button, it'll read it to me. But I don't want to get their number in there.
Watch out, construction on road ahead.
So anyway, it takes a long time, and they go through this underground, very much in the same rhythm as Logan's Run. It's very much in the same kind of fashion as Logan's Run, but he's running with his friends, you know, and they're all trying to get out of this factory and to get above ground. And I think in the end they actually get above ground and they find this escape pod spacecraft to get them launched out from, you know, from Mars and get them sent back to where Earth is. And Earth is a wreck, you know, but we don't see that until the sequel. But they do get off the, you know, they make it to the top of, you know, over all the factories. They make it to the ground level, and then they find an escape pod and they get in it. It's like 4 or 5 friends that are there's all problems with them. Like one maybe having some kind of weird knot in his elbow, you know, it's like that kind of imperfection, you know. Another guy may have like a chipped tooth, you know, it's like that kind of, they're that crazy, you know. Another guy may have like some kind of birth defect on his body or something, you know. It's like a visible kind of thing, you know. Or one guy may stutter, you know, then one guy's stuttering, so they decide to kill him because he stutters. And then one guy may have like a white thing in his eye, like by his pupil. So the white thing in his eye, they decide to kill him because of that, you know. And they bring him in a room first, and they observe them. They observe them, and they realize, wow, you know, that's weird. You've got a white thing in your eye. Like David Bowie would definitely be killed, you know. Billy Corgan would be killed because he has crooked teeth. It's that kind of thing. Like Jennifer Grey would be killed because of her nose, you know. It's like you have an imperfection in the way that you look, and they kill you because of it. It's called the killing line. But Atom would be good. ATUM, the Smashing Pumpkins. It'd be good to use as like background music for the killing line. It's set way in the future, like 3,000 and some crazy editing tonight. Yeah, there he is. Like crazy editing. I'm gonna cut all this stuff. I'm serious is going down. I have no idea. I'm trying to Waze is on right now. Something's going down. I'm trying to get Waze off the phone right now. 521 something. 5271214. This happened the other night too, over like by the Walmart area. All right, I got the message. 5271, and that's 5249. Send me another message. We're looking at 5271. Yeah, all these Shamus lit up at one time. I mean, big time. And they all rushed into this freaking place. Excuse my language. They rushed in here like crazy. All right, you have a good one. Something to do with spotlights. I have no idea. Probably like 6 of them. There's 3 to 6. Probably a fake call-in. Pretty spooky though. All right, so Shamu's playing around with spotlights, spotlighting people's window, waking them up. But now there's 7 of them in there. So they all came in red and blues. There they go again. Tons of them. Something went down in that apartment complex about the same time I arrived. Pretty crazy. Oh, they're pulling someone right there. Someone got emotional. Something happened. But there were like maybe 3 or 4 of them right in the middle of the complex with their spotlights. Spotlighting windows. So it was some kind of crazy call. And now they're pulling over some car right there. They're looking for something. Something went on about this time. If I got the name of that apartment complex, I hope I did. But I don't know. Shamu's in there causing trouble. We're going to go ahead and pick up a scale and some bananas. Maybe a little bit of beans. Dry beans are gone up a little bit. $2.28 and $2.28. This looks like a good one right here. I like the digital stuff, but that's not really what I'm looking for. This is all digital. And I'm kind of old-fashioned. I don't know if they have the other ones. Oh man, it figures they probably. We're just gonna have to settle. So we're just go for the digital. I haven't had one before. All right, so I did get the digital scale. It does require 9-volt batteries, which are the square bat. So I did get the digital scale. It requires 9-volt batteries, which, you know, I think it's one 9-volt battery, which is the square one. One thing that I am excited about is getting this down to a 30-minute or 33-minute vlog around that nature. If it goes to 40 minutes, then I understand. But what I get to do is I get to use discretion. I get to look through all the footage, say, okay, I want this, I want that, I want to talk about this and that. Right, kitty. There he is. We got yourself a health-o-meter, and we're gonna weigh you tonight. All right? Do your thing. We got a lot to do. And we got a big hike tomorrow. We're gonna weigh ourselves tomorrow. We're weighing you tonight. And I got a big show to cut. It's gonna be one of my first shows where I use discretion and find the good footage. All kinds of stuff right here. Okay, kitty. There he is. Look at him, just stretching out there. All right, y'all have a good night. All right, so we're dealing with a health-o-meter. It's a doctor's scale. It is a split mat digital scale. We're not gonna try to get to that weight because if we were at 135 pounds, we'd look like Christian Bell in The Machinist, which he was actually 117. Christian Bell maybe in Rescue Dawn, I don't know. That's real weight. That kind of weight is low for a 6-foot guy. I'm 6 foot. Here it is right here. It takes 9-volt. This is what it looks like. It's got a little sticker on it. It says, open the battery compartment, remove plastic wrap from battery, plug battery into terminal and place back in compartment. Has something right here. Tap here, wait for 00, step on. Which we're just gonna put the cat on because we're not gonna weigh until tomorrow, till after the hike. So I don't know what it means by step here, tap here. For consistent results, tap here. So I guess you tap here, wait for 00, and step on. This is what it looks like over here. Oh, it has one in there. There's a plastic thing that it says to remove the plastic thing. I don't know what that would be. There we go. This the plastic, yeah. Nope, that's the plastic thing. Okay, this is why I'm vlogging it. Probably what it is it's going to be these. Oh, there's plastic on the end. This is a type that comes with it. It's known as Sunbeam Super Heavyweight. So the reason what it's doing is, the reason it's doing what it's doing is because it has plastic on it right here. So you have to figure out how to take this plastic piece off. Is what that's what it's talking about, and then it goes back into here. You have to figure out which way. So I'm gonna turn the light on. Okay. So we have to figure out. I don't see anything where it's signifying. Yeah, it's probably just gonna fit. So the side would go over there. I'm gonna get some scissors and kind of chisel this away. Actually, to be honest, I'm just gonna use the Energizer Bunny right here. Well, I'll save those. Those are probably gonna be better for other stuff. All right, so let me go get something and kind of scrape this off, and just give me a second. All right, so I just took like a paring knife and I kind of cut this free because it has plastic it had plastic all over it. You're gonna be able to do this just by looking at the physicalization of it. You can see there's two different ones. There's a large one and then a smaller one. If you look under here, this would be the smaller one, so it'll go into here. Like that. All right, so it is kind of difficult, and I don't have the angling or the... I have the angling, but I don't really... It's very hard to vlog this and to show you how these two go through. But I can kind of go like this, and I can kind of, you can hear the vocal on it right here. Yep. And this is what it looks like as you're doing it. So. There it is. You kind of have to press it. You'll see here, it'll say the 9-volt right there. All right, without that plastic being taken off, it won't work. Then we have to there it is, right here. We got, listen, losing weight is very difficult. Tap here. There it goes. All right, now we're gonna weigh Kitty. So when it's saying tap here, it'll signify that you'll wait for the 00, or what I call 00. Because you stand like right on here. Move that over there. And we already opened the battery compartment. And now we're gonna see how much Kitty weighs. All right, and then we're gonna weigh in tomorrow after the hike, because I don't wanna count water weight. There we go. We're tapping here. All right, Kitty, here we go. I know it's hard. Life is hard. Let's see what we got. Stand on there firm, and what I can probably do is just to wait. All right, Kitty, that's fine. Kitty's not gonna play along. What I'm gonna do, I did this last time whenever I do these things. So we tap here. Hey, watch out. There we go. Now she's rolling. Move out this way. There we go. And we're gonna kind of do it that way and see what it says. Yep, 30.6, which is exactly 30. This is exactly correct. So we'll tap here again. And we'll try it this way. Should say 30 even. Nope, it's saying 30.6. It's off a little bit. Let's see if we can manipulate. Any manipulation? Wow, they don't allow manipulation. I'm gonna keep my old one that allows manipulation. But anyway, it's pretty good. We'll weigh tomorrow, see what we got. So it's 0.6 off. Right, Kitty? 0.6.